The whole book is just it's a love letter to your family, I think. And the way you describe stroking your son's hair or kissing your son's head, it's really special. And
one thing I used to do after he lost his hair from chemo and the fuzzy hair grew back, I would put my eye socket on like any round part of his head, usually like this part, and I would just press my eye socket onto his soft, fuzzy chemo head and feel the heat of his head just like radiate into my sensitive eye socket, and it made me so happy. It was such a wonderful, you think, I imagine your kid having chemo and losing your hair, you think that's terrible. It absolutely is, but there's also a beauty to it, and just feeling the heat of him come into my eyeball, just such a joy. So yeah.
But I think that's so people who haven't experienced the loss that you have, it also shockingly reminds you of how lucky you are to have people that you love that are alive. Yeah. And I genuinely believe you could read it and think better about repairing relationships you have with your family or friends, because I really do. Like, it's sort of, it's such a special book that you've written.
Well, yeah, because like I know, unfortunately, that my other children are gonna die. I fucking pray they're at my funeral being like, rather than me, being at theirs. But I do know that everybody that I love, something in their body will fail, and it'll lead to a domino effect, and their bodies will stop working. And I know it'll happen to me. And that's no longer theory. You know what I mean? For a lot of people, that's like, well, I believe it on paper, but you don't know it in your bones. And so now I know that, and my family knows that. And so we've done our best to change the way that we operate, to make the most out of the time that we do have.
What do you mean by change the way you operate? So is that putting less, because you talk about your relationship with your career.
Yeah, so I say no. Like, I know, like, my agents and manager, I can hear them over the phone being like, oh, Christ. When I say no to, like, a really good opportunity, I'm like, yeah, but it shoots in Philadelphia. Remind me, are my kids in Philadelphia? Is that where they are? And they're like, no. And I'm like, yeah, so I can't do the job in Philadelphia. They're like, but it's with Academy Award. And I'm like, I know, I would love to. I know, God, Jesus, yeah. No, I can't do it. And it makes me, I still have to like, no, and when I get older, when my kids are older, then I'd like to work more, because I love to work, but not as much as I love to squeeze them and lie on top of them where they scream for me to get off, and like every time they fart, I like cheer.
Can you imagine? I'm just thinking there. What they should do that with, like, whatever that film was in Philadelphia. They should show the film, and they should show the 10 minutes of what you did when the film was made. But it's literally your kids farting and you go, like that. And here's what the actor who didn't take the role did.
Yeah. God. So that's weird, No,
but the point is, it's sort of, it's so interesting and kind of inspiring to see somebody draw a line in the sand and say, this is more important than that. Mm-hmm. That status or that experience can't topple that.
Another way I'm lucky is that people found out who I was when I was a little bit older in life. So as soon as I was able to pay my rent with comedy money and then have like 11 pounds left over, I was like, oh, well, basically I'm a billionaire. So I already have everything that I need.
Yeah.
I have a fucking piano. That's what I wanted. When I was like, if I had funny money, what would I do? And I was like, I would get a piano and I would get an elliptical machine. I only have the piano. And that's proven to be, now I like to exercise less, so I don't even want that anymore. So now I don't even need anything, so I can't, as long as I can just pay the rent.
Well, why don't you sort of make your dreams come true and get a sort of like a pulley system so you can kind of play the piano.
That's a great idea. And
I And that
That's
would
something
sell.
to look into, yeah.
The Peloton piano.
Yeah.
What a weird way of ending a really special interview. With the worst Dragon's Den idea ever.